Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Life with Perry Martins. My name is Palim. my name is my name is Perry Martins. Oh my goodness, that slip of tongue there literally almost gave me away, but it didn't. So don't ask me what the giving away is about. But my name is Perry Martins, and life is not boring. Today I want to talk about life being very interesting. Life is not boring. Many times you see people who make that statement, life is boring. I remember a particular situation where a popular artist, she's not so popular, but she has gathered a level of following that is reasonable, to the point that she has a name, and she made a statement and said, man, life can be boring sometimes. And in my mind, I'm like, whoa, and trust me, I understand that thing. When it looks as if life is boring, there is no activity in your life, or there's no interesting or important things happening, But the truth is, you are enjoying life at the limit of what you permit or allow, at the permission of yourself. I'm trying to look for a way to coin this. If life is boring to you, then it means that you are not challenging yourself enough. You are not going out of your way, because you have to live intentionally. And I think that is the key word you should leave this podcast with. You have to live intentionally. You can't live your life on a que sera, what will be would be. No. You have to be intentional about living your life. You have to purposely make your life interesting. And the truth is that the world has enough of activity. There is so much that the world has to offer for your life to be interesting, and in a very good way, not even in a bad way. I'm not talking about going to club now, or taking drugs, no, I'm talking about legitimate and purposeful things that you can engage your life with, right? I have a couple of friends who are Caucasians, Americans, Europeans, and when we sit down and talk and we tell them some of the things that happen in our part of the world, in Africa, they are amazed. I've had 3 Black American friends who tell me, you know what, I want to come to Nigeria, I want to see what is happening. Because by the time we give them gist of how we live and what is happening, they want to come. And so basically, every time you hear someone say, oh, life is boring, it just shows the limited exposure they have. Because the truth is, by the time you cross your border to somewhere else, you will see that life is interesting. And let's not even talk about traveling, because definitely traveling is one thing that is going to make you see that life is not boring. But let's not talk about traveling like internationally, maybe take a plane and go to another country. Just within your locality. People in the cities would say life is boring, but the person in the village is not thinking like that. The person in the village has enough activity to last them. I remember when we were going for youth service. There's something we call youth service in Nigeria, where you go and serve your country, and most times that service is in a remote village. So in those days, and it still happens till now. So when people who live their life in the town or in cities for too long are posted to the villages or small towns, it seems as if it's a death sentence, because you are literally thinking, oh my God, what am I going to go and do in a village? There's nothing happening there. Boredom will kill me. That's what we say. But the thing is, there are human beings in those places. There are human beings in those places, and they are living their life, and they are having fun, and they're enjoying themselves. So I remember those in that time when we were posted to a village, somewhere in Oyo State in Nigeria. And some of my colleagues were thinking, man, boredom will kill us here. But I saw it as an adventure. I saw it as an opportunity to experience a different part of life. In fact, at some point, I see myself as a tourist who is enjoying an aspect of life. And the truth is, we can be very myopic or small-minded in our overall view of life, that we take the small situation we are in so serious, forgetting that the next minute your life can change. The next minute your location can change. Every time I remember how far I have come and how far I have gone and the plans I have of where I'm going to, it just makes you understand that life is boring only when you refuse to make your life eventful. Only when you refuse to make your life eventful. Only when you are not planning on making your life interesting. There is so much to do in life for life not to be interesting, right? There's so much to do in life. Like I was telling someone that, you could literally learn so many things. Do you know how to swim? Do you know how to play the piano? Do you know how to, climb a tree? There's things that will make life eventful for you. So a few days ago, a friend in church, invited a couple of us for us to go rock climbing, right? But indoor rock climbing. So we went for indoor rock climbing, and it was an interesting experience. I have never done anything like that in my life. It was an indoor rock climbing. It wasn't even the real thing, but it was so eventful that it probably took me the whole week to recover from the stress and the exertion that I had to do in order to fully participate in that program. We had such a great time rock climbing, and there are different ways to play it. There are different ways to climb, and then there are techniques, and then, so when the tutor was just teaching us how to climb, the techniques to climb, it just occurred to me that you can't stay in your small corner and think that your small corner is all that there is in life. There is much more to life than what is happening in your small corner. There is so much going on out there that you have to go out and experience it. You have to go out and enjoy it. So life definitely is not boring, but you are the boring one. You are the person that is boring. You are the person that is not going out of your way to live life, to enjoy life, right? Even in your small neighborhood. And the truth is this, right? Everybody, the default of everybody is just to be on their own and not to interact or relate with anybody. The default of people is, I don't want to talk to them more, and let me just stay on my own before I get into trouble or before someone insults me. We have a way of just sticking with our kind and just being in our small circle and not wanting to go out and experience other people and experience other cultures, even just within your country, experiencing other cultures. I encourage people to travel a lot. Traveling is one good way to live an unboring life. because you would, and maybe because I did quite a bit of traveling in the days when I was an instrumentalist. So in my younger days, in my teenage days, I was a keyboardist, I was an instrumentalist, and I belonged to a band, or I played in several bands. And we traveled a lot, mostly within Nigeria. We traveled to different villages, different towns, different cities, playing, and each of them was an experience, because you experience new food, new cultures, new people, very interesting conversations with people, and all of that just makes up for a very rich experience. Woo! Sorry, I just saw it's a limousine, but it's really big limousine, all those really long ones. So I have to shout. Life is interesting, right? So what I'm saying in earnest is that traveling is an amazing way to experience life. So maybe, Mark, if you, once after you walk for a while, you take out time and just travel, and I used to look forward to traveling, because I feel it's one good way to just relax. It's a good way to relax, unwind. When you are in the city, you are doing your work. It gets monotonous. It gets boring. It gets quite dreadful sometimes. So you need some time out. And especially now that we are coming towards the Ember season, this is the season that people want to go out and have fun and hang out. It's very important that you enrich your life with things, activities, and people that will make it interesting. Because if everybody around you is boring and you're boring, but all of you will be bored. And when we talk about activity, it's positive activity. Unfortunately, in a place like Lagos and some other places around the world, when we talk about activity and not being boring, people's mind go to all sorts of things. Trust me, sex is not an activity to get you out of boredom. No, that's not what I'm talking about. There is a code word within young people that when a young person says, "Oh, I'm feeling bored," it means that they want to have sex, right? We are talking about, and it's not drinking and smoking. It's not doing drugs and all. It's actually going out to experience other things, enjoy other things. Maybe some of the plays that you play when you were still a kid. Go and watch a movie or watch a live play. Watch a stage performance. Go to a concert. Hang out with people. Experience something new, right? Go on an adventure. Probably go on a safari. Travel, right? Maybe even try a new job. Take a part-time job somewhere and experience a different thing. It could be that all your life you've had things going well for you. You've always worked corporate jobs. Go and take a waiter job and just experience it. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but it's an interesting experience. Imagine you, a multi-billionaire or a rich person, and then maybe you say, let me just take a waiter job just to experience it. What I'm saying is that there's so much activity to make life interesting for you. Some things you have never tried before, try them out, right? Try things out. Go and learn how to cook if you don't know how to, play table tennis or lawn tennis. You have to go out of your way. Because the thing is, many times in your city, you don't know that something is existing until somebody, like today on Twitter, a young lady on Twitter, made a call that she wanted someone to join her to go and harvest honey from a honey farm. And I felt, wow, If I was in Nigeria, that is something I want to be part of, because that is an interesting activity to go and do, right? She promised that there would be protective gear to protect you, and I felt that is an interesting activity to do. Join someone to go to a honey farm and harvest honey. Imagine the experience, right? Go to a farm, go to a ranch, because there's always something you can do, right? Or go and pray. Take a time out and go to a mountain or somewhere. Just have an experience life. Trust me, when you do that, you would see that there is much more to life than just the boring activities that maybe you have been doing around yourself or around you. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is that there is a lot to do in life. There is a lot to experience in life, right? There's so much to experience and so much to do in life that life can't be boring. Life can be boring. If you have had it good all your life, go and experience the other side. Go to a ghetto and rent one room and just stay there for like 1 week to see how the life is in the ghetto, right? If you've had things going well, because trust me, every time you change your perspective, or every time you change your view of life, a change of perspective comes to you. Every time you change the vantage point from where you are positioned in life, you get a new perspective. If you were living rich and you grew up rich and you decide to just act poor and live poor a little bit, you will see a different perspective of life. You see how the poor people are contented and happy. And I have been in the two, experience of life, and trust me, which is part of the reason why many times I'm just contented. I remember where I'm coming from, and I remember where I am and where I'm going to, and I'm just excited and happy, and I'm contented because I know how to abase and abound. I know how to go into the ghettos and just hang out with the boys and just sit down and listen to gist and listen to and see how they manage the little they have, and watch the kids manage the little they have. Watch the elderly. Because sometimes rich people can be stupid, and when you come and stay with around communities where people are not so wealthy, you see a different perspective. So what I'm saying is that there is so much about life. There is so much to experience. Life is beautiful. Trust me, life is beautiful. And there's so much to experience. And you are only bored because you are just looking beyond your nose. If you look further, if you walk down to the other side of the street, you would see, and listen, it's okay to just stop sometimes. Just sit down and just watch every other. Take a second look and a third look at the things happening around you. Sometimes we are too busy with our activity. We are too busy with our activity that we don't stop to see and experience our environment. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Sometimes we're too busy with our routine, or wake up in the morning, pray, go to church, then go to work, then come back and then eat. We're too busy that we don't stop to observe our environment, observe our neighborhood, observe what is going on. Sometimes just take a break from the mental automation and just stop to take in and observe what is going on around you. When you do, you will be more grateful and you'll be more thankful that you are alive and that you are enjoying living, right? many times when you stop, you get a different perspective. And that is what I want to share with you guys this day. I wanted to say evening because it's evening right now where I am. But I just want to share this with you guys to make you see that there is more to life. So life is not boring. Life is beautiful. Life is fun. Life is amazing. And every time you feel bitter or depressed or angry, stop and think about all the other things that could have happened and did not happen and that have happened, and then be grateful and say, thank you, God. Thank you, for I am where I am today because of you. That's all from me today. It's been nice talking with you. My name is Perry Martin. Follow me on all social media platforms, and see you next time. Bye.